Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Fall in Love Friday. This is your relationship coach Aileen Santos, and I'm sorry I am 10 minutes late. Yeah, so I hope that you guys are enjoying your weekend. And with that, I did a poll earlier today and I asked you guys what you wanted to learn more about this episode of Fall in Love Friday and the next two episodes. So most of you agree that you want to know more about setting relationship goals, and we're going to get right into it. But for those who don't know me yet, hi, I'm relationship coach Aileen Santos. My background is in counseling psychology, and I'm a certified professional coach, and I help singles learn love facts versus love fiction so you can have better love stories in real life. So one of the reasons why it took me a while to go online tonight was this. I had to make slides and I had to make sure that you guys could read them. So I had to flip the slides, all of them. So this is our topic: how to set relationship goals at work. There. I hope that you can see it. Okay, yes. Okay, so we all make goals. We all write down our goals, usually at the beginning of the year. And it's a really good practice for us to focus on relationship goals as well. If you know that relationships are an important part of your life, then we have to make sure that we are growing in that area. And one way that we can make sure we're growing in that area is through the setting down of goals. One thing though that might set us back or might make us feel discouraged about setting goals is that belief that we have no control over our love lives. You know, sometimes I post. You guys know that I post a lot of quotes and love facts versus love fiction. And even when I do that, I also keep getting reactions that I know are coming from a place of hurt, are coming from a place of disempowerment. So I know that a lot of you think that you cannot set goals for your love life, that it just happens. Oh, please, no, it doesn't just happen. In fact, Hugh Jackman's wife, Deborah, okay, we're not close, but it's an amazing relationship that they have. When people tell them that they're lucky, or that they tell Deb that she's lucky to have Hugh Jackman, she feels that it's a put down, okay? Because she says that, and she believes, like all happily married people believe, it's not about luck. It's about creating your own destiny. So if Deborah, the wife of Hugh Jackman, believes that, then who are we to argue, right? So we need to learn how to set relationship goals that work. Goals that do not discourage us, but instead move us towards growth. And that's what goals are all about. You need, in every year, we cannot expect ourselves to just rely on all our past information, all our past behaviors and patterns, and believe that something's going to change. If we want things to change, we have to change things. Quote me on that. If we want things to change, we have to change things. All right. So let's go to our topic: how to set relationship goals at work. And I have 3 big ideas for you that I hope you can think about. Number 1, know your heart's true reason and intention. Know your heart's true reason and intention. So, in essence, you have to get to know yourself first. You have to get to know your heart's desire. And surprisingly, and this is coming from a relationship coach, what I've found is that even though people feel that they are braver now, it's like YOLO, you only live once, take more risks, do what we can. One of the scariest things that people actually encounter is this: to get really honest with what they really want. And I'm going to repeat that because it's a huge thing. So many people think that they're brave because they're taking risks, but in the end, I am seeing that more people now are not brave enough to actually even be honest about what they really want. So why is that happening? In this age of, accepting people and all of these things, sometimes we're afraid that what we actually want is not acceptable. Okay, so let's just look at women empowerment. So a lot of women, encourage each other, saying that you can do anything that you put your mind to, all these amazing encouragement and optimism. But then when you admit that one of the things you really want is to be in a relationship, people might see that, or people might even fault you or put you down for being weak. But here's the thing, if you are really honest with what you want, there's absolutely nothing weak about that. The irony is that we are forcing each other to accept what other people want, but then again, we are under this pressure that what we want is not acceptable, okay? Because it's like people think like that, going after a career or a job or a business, that's awesome. But when you say you want to be in a relationship, that is seen as less than. Now, for those women who are learning from me, please make sure that you don't make your friends feel that way. Because having a lifelong relationship that you can always come home to is one of the best things that you can actually have in this life. And in fact, at everyone's deathbeds, we all know this. Bottom line is not how much you made or what properties you have, but instead, how are your relationships at the end of your life? So please do not think that your heart's desires for your relationship is something that's less than all your other goals. They are just as important, if not more important, than all your other goals. Okay, you got that? Be honest about what you really want, because when we're lying to ourselves, then we can't be clear about our goals. It's impossible for us to have relationship goals at work when we are not even honest about what we really want. Okay, I hope that's getting clear. All right, okay, all right, and okay, all right. All right, so number 2, learn from past lessons and then let go. Learn from past lessons and then let go. Listen to your hearts, not to your hurts. The past lessons, they were there to teach you. The past hurts, they were there to teach you lessons. But once you get the lessons, we need to let go of those stories. We need to remember that those stories don't have to define us this year. Okay? Learn the lessons, but let go of the stories. And I'm going to talk more about that next week, because next week we're going to talk about beliefs and mindsets. All right? That could help support your relationship goals. And finally, third slide is this. Have a clear vision of what your goal looks and feels like. Have a clear vision of what your goal looks and feels like. All right? Now, I'm going to talk more about making goals, your goals, relationship goals, more realistic and empowering. And that's when you can tell that your goals are empowering, is that when they give you hope instead of they give you pressure. Okay, so a goal sparks joy, all right, just like what Marie Kondo says. A good goal for you for this year will spark joy and hope in you, not pressure. Okay, so a good goal is also empowering. So we will talk more about that in the coming weeks. But one key word that I want you to pay attention to is this: what your goal feels like. Okay, I don't expect you, especially if you've been single for a while, or you are recovering and you're putting the pieces of your heart back together. I don't expect you to have a relationship by the end of the year, and that is never a good goal. Okay, that is not something that you should aim for. But instead, what you want to have as a goal is you should aim for something that is within your control. And we're going to talk more about that. But that goes back to this word, how it feels like. You want to figure out what growth, growth in terms of the relationship arena feels like for you. So just imagine with me what that feels like. Do you feel more confident about your choices? Imagine it's New Year's Eve and you feel that you have achieved your relationship growth goal for this year. So imagine how that feels like, how this New Year's Eve feels like. So did you grow more confident this past year in terms of your choices? Did you grow more at peace because you know that you have actually learned the lessons? Did you grow more sure about the kind of person who's a match for you? Okay, so that's what I'm talking about when I say what your goal feels like. Because when you know the kind of feeling that you want to achieve, and here's a tip: if you are feeling unsure right now, or scared, or bitter, or whatever it is that's negative, that's holding you back right now, that you feel right now about your relationship situation, then the flip side of that would be indicative of the feeling that you would want for your own relationship goal. All right. I hope that this makes sense for you. This is kind of a kind of exercise that needs your reflection and your time to figure out, but don't worry, we have next week to clarify even more. But I hope you got what you needed from today's episode. All right, so yes, find out what your heart really wants and honor that. Number two, learn the lessons and apply them so that you can let go of the old stories. But third, know what growth feels like for you. So those are the foundations for setting relationship goals that actually work. I hope you learned from this. I'll see you guys again next week. Please tell me if you have any questions, write it down in the comments. But please do share this with people who will learn from this so that we can be more empowered in all aspects of our lives, but most of all, this important aspect called our relationships. Great to see you guys. See you next Friday, and do share this video. Bye, everyone.